Did you know that Baba Vanga predicted that this year would mark the beginning of the apocalypse? Or that Nostradamus said a new pandemic would emerge? Today, we bring you the 10 prophecies that will come true in 2025. Here, you'll learn about the predictions and forecasts we'll face in this upcoming year. Let's watch it. It's fascinating. The beginning of the apocalypse, or a global crisis. Possibly Baba Vanga's most alarming prediction for 2025 suggests that geopolitical relations between countries could undergo drastic changes, leading to the start of a new war. Experts have warned that the destruction of the world could begin once Syria falls, which is a concerning thought, especially after Syrian rebels recently took Damascus, forcing President Bashar al-Assad to flee the country. Furthermore, the possibility of a third world war hasn't been this high since the Cold War. Recent international conflicts, escalating rivalries between major powers like the United States, China, and Russia, and territorial disputes in places like Taiwan, Ukraine, and the Middle East have heightened fears that the world could be on the brink of a global confrontation. Unlike previous wars, this hypothetical conflict wouldn't just be a clash of conventional armies. Cyber warfare, nuclear weapons, and emerging technologies like military artificial intelligence could play a central role, making the consequences devastating for all of humanity. As a result, there are numerous places on the planet where the first spark of conflict could lead to a global war, with the potential to cause a level of destruction from which humanity may never recover. Plague and war. Nostradamus predicted that the new year would bring calamities and disasters to England, which would be plagued by cruel wars and face an outbreak of an ancient plague worse than any enemy. Considering that his prediction of the COVID-19 pandemic came true, experts are cautiously watching this apocalyptic and devastating prophecy for the European country. While Nostradamus didn't go into exact details, the possibility of a new plague or pandemic shaking the world isn't a science fiction issue, but a reality that scientists and experts consider highly likely. First of all, we live on a hyper-connected planet, where international travel and urban expansion bring us closer to unexplored territories and animal species carrying unknown viruses. Moreover, according to the World Health Organization, the risk of new zoonotic diseases emerging, diseases jumping from animals to humans, has increased due to climate change, deforestation, and globalization. Additionally, the last few years have taught us that a small outbreak in one part of the world can quickly become a global pandemic, as we saw in late 2019 with the emergence of COVID-19 in China. And within weeks, the entire planet fell victim to the disease. Asteroid collision with Earth. Given that humanity's future has always been fertile ground for theories and prophecies, Nostradamus' words inspire both fascination and fear. According to his writings, 2025 could witness the collision of a giant asteroid with Earth, with the destructive power possibly enough to bring about the end of life as we know it. Fortunately, science offers a reassuring counterpoint, as near-Earth asteroids aren't new. Every year, hundreds of these celestial bodies pass near our planet without posing a real danger, as most stay at safe distances and are constantly monitored by astronomers and space agencies like NASA. Still, it's important to note that in 2025, 2 asteroids will pass very close to Earth. The first, 2025 BX1, is about 30 meters in diameter and is expected to pass less than 3 million kilometers from Earth in March 2025. While this might sound alarming, astronomers assure that it poses no significant risk. However, if it were to deviate from its course, it's large enough to strike with the same force as 15 atomic bombs like the one that destroyed Hiroshima in 1945. Fortunately, the other asteroid, 2025 PT5, is smaller, only 10 meters wide, and will pass near Earth in January at a distance 9 times greater than the distance between Earth and the Moon. According to NASA experts, they will closely monitor its trajectory using the sophisticated Goldstone solar system radar and assure that it poses no risk to life on the planet. Natural disasters in Brazil. Nostradamus' next prophecy takes place in the South American country, which he refers to as the Garden of the World, likely due to its vast Amazon rainforest. According to the French astrologer, the region could face devastating floods and possible volcanic eruptions, which would be directly linked to the progression of climate change. In his verses, Nostradamus wrote, "Garden of the world near the new city, on the path of hollow mountains, It will be captured and submerged in the tub, forced to drink waters poisoned by sulfur. These words have led some experts to interpret them as a warning for the Amazon region, where intense rainfall, river flooding, and the effects of global warming have worsened natural disasters in recent years. To appreciate the environmental chaos in Brazil, in recent years, the country has faced the worst droughts in its history, causing the Amazon to burn and emit more carbon dioxide than it can absorb. But last year, the Rio Grande do Sul region saw floods caused by the El Niño phenomenon, where at least 181 people died and thousands more lost their homes. Destruction of Europe. Bulgarian mystic Baba Vanga has a long history of predictions that came true, such as the presidential victories of Barack Obama and Donald Trump, the sinking of the Kursk nuclear submarine in 2000, and the Chernobyl disaster. Although she passed away in 1996, her predictions for the future continue to terrify the world, including her belief that Europe will be destroyed by war. While Baba Vanga only said that the old continent would experience internal struggles leading to a population decrease and the destruction of large regions, experts believe this scenario could become a reality in 2025. The ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine since 2022 has raised fears that the conflict could spread beyond borders, involving other nations and becoming a continental-scale confrontation. Tensions in Eastern Europe are especially alarming, as NATO member countries like Poland and the Baltic states have stepped up their defense efforts in response to the threat of possible Russian expansion. On the other hand, military exercises in strategic areas and the increase of troops in border regions have added a dangerous layer of uncertainty. But the risk doesn't just lie in military power, as the energy crisis, economic pressure, and political polarization are creating divisions that could weaken alliances and stoke internal tensions, potentially leading to a multi-front war with catastrophic consequences for Europe's population. Medical advances. For this year, Baba Vanga predicts revolutionary advancements in medical science, such as lab-grown organs and groundbreaking cures for diseases like cancer, which could extend life expectancy and improve the quality of life for millions of patients awaiting a cure. Her predictions don't seem so far-fetched when you consider that medicine is entering an era that feels like science fiction. The creation of lab-grown organs and the potential cure for cancer are no longer distant dreams, but increasingly realistic possibilities. Scientists around the world are working with groundbreaking technologies like 3D bioprinting, which allows the construction of functional organs layer by layer using stem cells. Moreover, these technologies envision a future where organ transplants no longer have waiting lists, and organs like hearts, livers, and kidneys are custom designed for each patient, eliminating the risk of rejection. On the other hand, the battle against cancer is about to take a historic turn, thanks to advancements like CRISPR gene editing, immunotherapy, and artificial intelligence. These innovations will help doctors detect and attack tumors before they develop. In this way, personalized medicine will offer unique treatments for each patient, designed to fight cancer without damaging healthy cells and without side effects that would affect their quality of life. Development of telepathy. This prediction by Baba Vanga may seem a bit far-fetched, as she claimed that humans will be able to communicate through telepathy, completely changing the way people interact with one another. While it's still a skill that belongs to the world of science fiction, it could become a reality in the near future thanks to advances in neurotechnology. Imagine a world where words are no longer necessary because thoughts can be transmitted directly from one mind to another. This is not just a futuristic delusion. Scientists and AI experts are developing devices capable of reading and translating brain activity into understandable language. Technologies like brain implants and artificial intelligence have already demonstrated their ability to decode neural signals. What's even more incredible is that recent trials allowed paralyzed individuals to communicate with their thoughts, using brain-machine interfaces to move a cursor or form words on a screen. Now, experts are working to take this technology to the next level, enabling two brains to connect directly and exchange ideas and emotions without the need for spoken words. Contact with extraterrestrials. Before her death, Baba Vanga warned that humanity would make contact with extraterrestrial life, which could potentially trigger a global crisis or even an apocalypse. Regardless of the truth, one thing is certain: UFO sightings have increased in recent years. In fact, the U.S. Department of Defense declassified several videos of fighter jets chasing flying objects that moved in ways impossible for any human-made aircraft. Furthermore, Newly elected President Donald Trump promised to release all government files related to extraterrestrials once he took office. This makes the prediction seem more likely than we might want to believe. If we look at this issue from a scientific and rational perspective, the possibility of contact with an extraterrestrial civilization in the near future is more real than we think. Thanks to the accelerated development of space technology, including more powerful telescopes and the exploration of Earth-like planets, humanity is closer than ever to answering one of the oldest questions. Are we alone in the universe? Organizations like NASA and SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, are focusing their efforts on detecting signals that could come from other advanced forms of life. Additionally, the recent discovery of exoplanets in habitable zones, where environmental conditions could be similar to Earth's, has further fueled expectations of making contact with intelligent life beyond our solar system. The end of the war in Ukraine. Nostradamus' prophecies have always captivated the world, and his prediction for 2025 is no exception. According to the cryptic writings of the famous astrologer, wars in various parts of the world may continue, but this year could bring an end to one of the most prolonged conflicts of our time. While his texts are ambiguous, many have interpreted them as referring to the exhausting conflict between Russia and Ukraine, which began in 2022 and has left a deep mark on recent history. Nostradamus wrote, "Through the long war, the entire army exhausted. So they find no money for the soldiers. Instead of gold or silver, there will come the leather coin, the gallows brass, and the crescent sign of the moon." These words sparked intense debate on social media, as the reference to gallows brass has been associated with France, while the crescent moon sign has led to speculation about Turkey's potential involvement in the conflict. If this interpretation is true, the fatigue from the war and the international pressure from the two aforementioned nations could provide the necessary push to reach the long-awaited peace after nearly 3 years of fighting, which has resulted in at least 43,000 Ukrainian soldiers killed and over 600,000 Russian casualties. The rise of an aquatic empire. Of all Nostradamus' prophecies, this one might be the strangest. He claimed that an empire would rise from beneath the ocean. In his writings, he said, "From the depths, a ruler will rise, amidst floods that will reach the skies. Empires will fall, and new waves will reign. The aquatic empire from the realm of the ocean." While at first glance this might seem like the creation of a new aquatic civilization, there are other ways to interpret it. One interpretation suggests that catastrophic floods will occur in various parts of the world, causing cities and even entire countries to be submerged. Perhaps the French astrologer was referring to the United States, due to its position as the most powerful nation on Earth and the rising sea levels, which could submerge large areas of the country, ending its status as the dominant empire of the past 100 years. Others have interpreted Nostradamus' words more literally, suggesting it could refer to the rise of a civilization adapted to living beneath the sea. While current technology makes this idea nearly impossible, the future is always uncertain, and we never know how it might surprise us. Now tell me, which of these predictions do you think will come true? Leave your opinion in the comments below. Here are 2 options that you'll surely love.